What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react to this video here by a fellow American who recently took a trip to Europe, and he's talking about his experience being an American in Europe. And the title here that really caught my attention, it says, telling people you're American these days is truly depressing. We're a joke. So, obviously that's extremely concerning to read. That's not good, that's not good to hear. But, I guess honestly, I'd rather be aware of this stuff than, pretend that it isn't happening or pretend that it's not true. That's not a good way to live. So today, I want to take a look at this video and, see what his experience was like and see what people in Europe really think about us. So let's take a look.
My wife and I took recently a lengthy vacation we went to Switzerland and we went to France. I mean,
Oh, okay. You know what? That's also important to like specify. I understand that. I think a lot of Americans, we have like kind of have a habit of saying, "Oh, they went to Europe." Europe. It's like that's a big place. Like where? It's like if you said you're going to the United States, we'd be like, "Where? What do you mean? Where did you go?" So, yeah, specifically he was in he said Switzerland and France. Okay.
in Switzerland right now. And what I'm going to tell you, and I swear to God this is true, this is not like political expediency, this is not like searching for something.
Okay.
We have gone as a country from being envied, loved, admired, sought out, to nobody wants to come. Everyone is horrified.
Yeah, I mean, uh and he's right to say it's not even a political thing, you know? Not at all. Like at this point, I've heard about some of the stuff, especially recently. I mean, you'd have to be living under a rock. Even as an American, you should be aware like people around the world are not happy with the United States, particularly, let's be honest, because of Donald Trump, which I mean, the American people, we elected Donald Trump for the second time. So, we're responsible for that. We have to take accountability for that and everything that he is doing, even if he is doing things that he said he would not do, like starting a new war with Iran, where he campaigned on not starting stupid, pointless new wars, and that's exactly what he did. But you could say, come on, Americans, you should have known, like you're electing Donald Trump. He's lying. He's saying whatever he has to say to become president, and then he'll do whatever the hell he wants, which is pretty much what's happening. And it seems like a lot of people around the world are not happy about that, and that makes sense. So, from my point of view, I've come to terms with the fact that I mean, it seems like the United States is declining in a lot of ways. Like, you can say whatever you want about if you like us or you don't like us, but I think just objectively, like as a country, we are going up, 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 peak success, wealth, peak, and this might be it. Like, this might just be the start of the end. I don't know, especially when you start seeing videos like this where like Americans who are actually traveling outside the US, like traveling to Europe, traveling to Switzerland and France and seeing what people have to say. This is the kind of stuff we don't hear about here in the US, and we don't like to hear this stuff. I think we kind of enjoy living in a fantasy where even now, even with all the crazy stuff that has happened, all the crazy stuff the US government and Trump has done, we're kind of living like a lot of Americans are still trying to live like delude themselves into thinking everything is okay. Whereas it sounds like if you just step outside of the US, you immediately get a different perspective, like an outside perspective, where it's like people are not envious of us. People don't want anything to do with us. I know people aren't traveling here much anymore. So I've heard a bit about this, and I guess hearing this American talk about it from an outside point of view, like just makes it very real, makes really reaffirms it.
Everyone is confused. The number of people you run into who like the awkward pause when you tell them you're from America, and then they're like, I don't understand what's going on. And
Yeah, wow. Because a lot of Americans never, in our whole life, never travel outside of the United States. And so we're in this bubble where we don't hear what other people have to say about us. And I think it's very, very valuable to have criticism, to have people like for example, Europeans that he's talking to, like tell him from an objective outside point of view, like we're confused. Like, what is wrong with you? Be honest. Because in the US, we have trouble being honest and objective about ourselves. We want us to be the best. As a kid growing up here, you're taught that the US is the best country. We do everything the coolest and the best. And the idea that that is no longer true, that's not true. That's very difficult for Americans, I think. It totally goes against our own identity, our picture of ourself. So that's why I think this is important to hear.
I'm like, I don't understand what's going on either. Like, it is crazy how it has changed. I've traveled a lot in my life, both for work and personal, outside of the country. People traditionally love America. They loved Obama with a passion. And people
Somehow this makes it like you would think that'd be really cool to hear, and it is, but it almost makes it more depressing that the United States was like respected and people liked us and thought we did some cool stuff like that. We were doing good. Things were good. And now it's kind of like ruined. Maybe forever. That's kind of like depressing.
loved what we stood for and everything we had. And it is crazy. This is the longest trip I've taken since Trump's presidency. It is bonkers. Like, he keeps telling people America is back and America is stronger than ever. We are a laughing stock. We're a
Yeah. It's physically difficult to hear. Like as an American, any American would not want to hear this. 'Cause- I mean, nobody in the world, American or not, nobody would want to hear this about yourself, right? But this should be like a wake-up call. It should be like this should be on like national US news. Like every American should have to hear this. I don't care how uncomfortable it makes the people here. We should all have to hear this and acknowledge it because only then we might do something about it. Because, like I said, a lot of people don't realize how bad our reputation has gotten. Because again, we're in such a bubble. Like here in the US, you don't really see much outside point of views.
We are a ridiculed nation. Nobody wants to come. People say, "Yeah, I was thinking of visiting. I'm probably going to wait," or "I was thinking of visiting, but my parents say I shouldn't," or "I was thinking of visiting, but I'm really nervous about it," or "I was thinking of visiting, but I don't want
Wow.
to go when Trump is president." Like,
I mean, I don't know if that gives me is that supposed to give me some kind of weird hope? Like, if the United States can somehow survive like 2.5 more years and Donald Trump is out of office, is there some way to come back? Is there maybe people are mostly just upset with Trump? Upset with us for electing him, of course, but upset with the man himself doing the things. And I understand all that. And a big part of me hopes that, like, maybe when it's all done, maybe some of this can be reversed. I don't know.
if you're one of these people who thinks Trump is doing a great job and that the
Ha!
world finally respects America again, you're just wrong. You're just factually wrong. We are the laughing stock now of the.
I mean, and there are people like that, by the way. There are Americans who actually like Trump. Still, like now, like even if you voted for Donald Trump at this point, I really have no idea how you could respect him or like him or agree for all the harm he has done to the rest of the world. Even if you're an American who for some reason doesn't care about that, what about all the harm he has done to us, our own country? What about all that? So many things suck for us now that were pretty good. Like only like a year and a half ago, were pretty good, even under Joe Biden. Um, so yeah, it's kind of mind blowing.
This world. We are, people are like, what happened? What went wrong with you? What are you, I don't understand. And I'm always like, I don't know. You're just going to have to wait this one out. It is crazy. I'm telling you, go to another country, see how many, ask random 10 people, 100 people, what do you think of America right now? And it is just so sad.
That that's why this is so valuable, because that's just something that so many Americans will never experience what he has experienced. Just getting out of the United States, talking to people. It's like he's escaped like the Matrix, the US bubble, and like and it's so obvious to him. Whereas I'm telling you, here in the US, we don't really talk about it like this as much.
And I think the people who think that we're respected again across the world just don't travel or just don't know or so brainwashed and so locked in that they don't see it. But
Yeah.
it is a shit show. Nobody appreciates us. Nobody wants to be us. The decline is just jarring to people, and it's jarring to me too. It just fucking sucks. So here I am in Switzerland. It's a Zurich, great city, but people don't understand America anymore, and it's hard for me to argue.
Indeed. Even as an American, it's hard to argue. It is if you have half of a brain, it's hard to argue. Like, I understand why people see us that way. And if you're an American who really loves the United States, you should be upset with what Donald Trump has done to us. So, yeah, in like a weird way, like we should kind of be agreeing with Europeans, like talking like this. Like nobody nobody enjoys being criticized, and people don't like their identity being challenged, but it's I think it's very, very necessary for Americans right now to be questioning all this stuff. Because if anything, things are getting crazier, things are getting worse. Um, there's been so many crazy stuff the last year and a half with trade wars and tariff threats threatening Greenland, Venezuela, Canada, um, attacking Iran now. Things only seem to be getting crazier, like more, not calming down. So that especially if Donald Trump knows that this is his last term in office, he doesn't have to worry about being reelected. He doesn't have to worry about being liked. There is no election for him again. This is it. The maximum is 2 terms of president. So I think he knows that. So he knows he can do whatever he feels like doing, and it doesn't really matter if people like it, which is very scary and kind of explains a lot about what's going on. But again, we did it to ourselves, which is also frustrating. So this was very insightful. I think it's good. It hurts, but it's good to see stuff like this. Very, very important, actually. I think more Americans should. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment, especially if you're a European or just outside the United States, anywhere in the world, looking at us with the same questions and the same attitude, or that'd be interesting to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.